Perfect positioning. Hi, I'm Christina Bellantoni with Talking Points Memo, and we are here with Lieutenant Governor Bill Halter from Arkansas. Many TPM readers will be familiar with him because he ran in a Democratic primary against Senator Blanche Lincoln, which ended in a runoff with Senator Lincoln retaining the Democratic nomination, and she's facing a really tough challenge this fall from Congressman John Bozeman, a Republican. So, sir, how did you feel the primary went for you?
Well, obviously we would have liked a different outcome in the primary, but I was very proud of what my team put together in an incredibly short period of time. Very few people remember it now, recognize it, but it was literally only 77 days from the day that we announced until primary day, and just an incredible amount of things had to come together in that time frame, and I had a good team that brought it all together. It was close, obviously, and a tremendous number of people helped from Arkansas and also from around the country, and I'm very grateful for all of that support.
And why do you think Senator Lincoln was able to prevail, given the fact that her popularity is still pretty low there? She's facing a very uphill challenge against this Republican.
Well, I think there's a couple things. I mean, first, popularity within a primary electorate and popularity in the general electorate are obviously two different things. So there's that. But I think Senator Lincoln and her campaign, to their great credit, had a lot of very significant forces operating in their favor. She had raised a tremendous amount of financial resources. I think by the time that I was in the race, it was over $7 million. There were outside groups that spent well over $2 million. Anonymous outside groups that spent well over $2 million in campaign.
And they'll counter that you had a lot of the labor unions behind you and progressive national groups.
Absolutely. I mean, there's no question that there were tremendous resources. But the other thing is that this is having a primary against an incumbent senator, or winning a primary against an incumbent senator, is one of the hardest things that you can do in American politics, and it doesn't happen very often. But again, very proud of what the team did, proud of the race that we ran. I thought my team and I ran a very honorable race, and one that was passionately fixed on advancing policies for middle-class Arkansas families.
Do you think she can win this fall?
Well, yes. Yes. Obviously, it's a difficult year, and everybody knows what the current polls show.
I believe the last one, she released an internal poll that showed she was down by single digits, but still many of those single digits. But other polls are showing double digits.
Right. And look, polls are snapshots, and of course what matters is the race that's run from today until Election Day. But I don't think there's any question that, it's a tough year.
Do you think Arkansas, it's an interesting state because it's obviously held many Democratic politicians here. Former President Clinton is from Arkansas. The governor is a Democrat. You are a Democrat. Senator Lincoln and Senator Pryor are Democrats. But people call this a red state. Why is that?
I think in the past few years it has voted Republican presidential elections, but I think you're right to point out that we have a tremendous group of Democratic elected officials at the state level and also at the congressional level. But I think that really there's at least somewhat of a misunderstanding about the ideological dimension, I think, of Arkansas. People wanted to have our race, my race, primary race, to be a left-right, analyzed on a left-right dimension. And we kept telling everybody that's not really what's going on here. It's more of a question of who's going to stand up for middle-class Arkansas families versus, who's more focused on special interest groups and so forth. And I think that was more the case of what was going on in this race than the left-right dimension. Having said that, this fall, you're going to see, I think, a classic face-off between the Republican nominee and the Democratic nominee.
You're here at Netroots Nation. Obviously it just got started, but what are you seeing from the progressive movement that wasn't able to bring it over the line for you? Do you think the progressive movement will still have power this fall?
No question about that. And we have to bear in mind again how much was accomplished in a relatively short period of time. I mean, I was very pleased with what we were able to do in that period of time, and certainly here to say thank you to a lot of folks who were really extraordinarily generous. Over 80,000 individuals contributed to our campaign in a very, very compressed period of time. And the average contribution was just north of $30 per contribution. It was incredible, the support, but not just the financial support. Certainly, people were making phone calls. They were expressing their support for the campaign in other ways. And I'm very grateful for that, and that's one of the reasons for being here is to tell people thanks.
Thank you.